Okay, I'm at home, and one of your brothers or sisters was kind enough to let me know that the authentic video was not coming up for the lecture, so I'm going to do this from the house. A little rougher than normal, but I'll do the best I can. Authentic activities is a classroom activity similar to an activity that students are apt to encounter in the outside world. So, in other words, we want to make the learning as realistic as possible. I'm sure all of you have at some point in time sat in a class and thought, why am I taking this? Well, how's that going to benefit me? What's the advantages of doing it? And even though now as you're getting older, you're realizing kids are not going to have that ability yet to be able to realize that. So some benefits of authentic activities, producing authentic activities. When students work in a naturalistic context, students should be able to accomplish more they might accomplish in a relatively artificial and simplistic classroom task, just because it means something and it's real world. The second one, complex authentic tasks are likely to promote meaningful learning rather than rote memorization of new information and procedures because they have a motivation to want to do it. That seems to be, per research, the changing of why it is a meaningful learning. It's I may need this when I grow up, or I may need this later on next week. They begin to see a reason. The third one, because they resemble real-world tasks and problems, authentic activities should help students make mental connections between school subject matter and out-of-school situations. And then these connections should help them retrieve and apply the newly learned knowledge. So it's bringing everything to real life. It'll help them make the how does this that they're learning going to help me outside of the classroom as well. Authentic activity can also be highly motivating for students because once again they see the need of why they're doing it. Placing classroom activities in real-world context, we help students discover the reasons they're learning academic subject matter anyway. And so when they say, why are we doing this? Why do we have to know this? You're going to be able to tell them. Authentic activities may be especially valuable in working with students who are at risk for academic failure. Why do you think that would be? Stop the video right now. Text me why students who are considered at risk for academic failure would get a lot of value out of the authentic activities. I'll be waiting. Text me. All right, some examples of authentic activities. Maybe ask them to write an editorial, have the students do a debate, design an electrical circuit, conduct an experiment, construct a map, let them make a video of something, plan a family budget. Sarah just came out of a class in high school where she just had an egg as her baby, and she had to take care of it for a few days. I saw where she tweeted, "Bad mom." The poor egg had a couple of bashes. Perform a concert, converse in a foreign language. All of those would be considered authentic activities. When you're talking about authentic activities and using the computer, you could have them develop an internet homepage. Have them write a letter to a friend using a word processing program. Have them send an email message to a government official, maybe some kind of a something that they want to help stop or or they're supporting. Just make sure that you want to check their grammar, make sure that the language is appropriate. Statistically analyzing data collected in a science experiment, maybe document, putting charts and graphs in to document their work. Authentic activities are possibly most beneficial when they promote complex thinking skills and when their final outcomes are multifaceted and somewhat unpredictable. You're finding on your authentic activities the boundaries are lightly drawn in the sand. You are actually determining how far this goes, and I can say you've taken it farther than I would have thought you would have at this point. They should be sufficiently simple that they don't impose or an manageable cognitive load. They shouldn't be so complex that students find them too overwhelming and then they don't want to do it. I think you gave me that feedback on our very first flipped classroom activity. There wasn't enough time. There was too many in your group. And you know that frustration that you feel, your students will feel the same thing. I went ahead and included in this authentic activity the section about PBLs as well. You remember seeing the video with the kindergartners participating in the PBL. In some instances, authentic activities take the form of problem-based learning or project-based learning, in which students acquire new knowledge and skills as they work on complex problems or projects similar to those they might find in the outside world. Some examples of some PBLs might be asking your students to devise a way to move a large, heavy object using principles of physics. Now, that would be for your older students. Creating ways to improve school attendance. That could be any grade. How could we get students to come to school more often? I know I started with a sentence strip on my door that said, Miss Smith's room has blank days with perfect attendance. And I took Post-it notes and covered up, put the numbers on the Post-it notes and put it on the blank. It was amazing how that motivated the students. They loved it when they could get to double digits. Before I knew it, the whole 3rd, 4th, 5th grade hall was doing the very same thing, and we had kind of a competition going on. Let the students decide find ways that they think that would boost school attendance, and then maybe develop a plan for a Being Healthy campaign. Maybe work with the PE teacher or something, or the health teacher, and try to devise a plan, and maybe everybody is on that plan for 30 days or the semester or whatever. All kinds of fun things and good real life stuff that the students could do. I remember I took my math books to the basement, probably the first year I taught at Fairview Marguerite. We'd just gotten new math books, and the students could not even make it through the first couple of pages. The actual reading part of it was unbelievable. So I actually made what I call daily math reviews, and that's what we worked off of based on the standards at the time. But I also had a Smith's restaurant, and we had food in there, fake food, plates, silverware. We would come in, someone would seat you. You would have a certain amount of money that you could spend for lunch. Sometimes you had a coupon. Sometimes you had a friend, sometimes by yourself. Someone actually prepared the food. Somebody brought your food out to you. Somebody figured up your bill. Somebody figured in the gratuity and the tax. Think about how much math goes into that, and then talk about real life that is hopefully going to be part of their life, where they have a job and actually contributing back to the community, and just to their household. So I've attached 4 PBLs, and I tried to pick several different grades so you could see that it was possible regardless what grade you're teaching. And I think you're going to enjoy. If you don't have time for all of them, pick and choose what you want. But I think you're going to be impressed with all those. That's authentic activities. Don't forget to text me that one part where we stopped the video. I'll be waiting to hear from you.